Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and a lot of good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble, extra support, PayPal, Patreon, all that stuff. And I also tweet from time to time. So not much happening, especially on hardware. There is some kind of the rumblings from RDNA 4 kind of being cancelled, high end, and some stuff with the Intel CPUs and that stuff. But I didn't see anything that caught my eye worth mentioning. Just a lot of rumors, and those things to a certain degree are a little bit off on the future, so it's not something that's going to happen this year supposedly, so I'll pass on that. But we got a good here article from Fextralife covering the RPG news regarding this week. I cover some of these things here, but at least it's like a roundabout things. I cover the Deathbound here. Remnant 2 didn't cover too much, mainly I decided not to cover mainly because of how they went about it. I think you have to, even if you play solo, you have to be online. At least that's the latest that I heard. The latest at the time, it's what I heard. You need, even if you play solo, you need to be online, from what I understood. And the fact that they just in terms of performance wise, you basically need to have DLSS active or upscaling technology to play playable frame rates without stutterings and all that stuff here. And for that, I didn't cover basically the game, even though of course this game is mainly aimed for co-op, and usually it's not my thing. We got Dark Envoy. I think I covered a little bit here, the new trailer, like fantasy stuff here. PS5, I don't usually do consoles, but supposedly almost 50 million PlayStation 5s, which is not a big, huge number. I remember, I don't know, PS4, 120 million, something like that. I'm really not sure, but yeah, mainly for because of the lockdowns and the fact that there was like the manufacturing issues of supply. I think at the beginning there wasn't enough PlayStation 5s in stock to get around. That's, I think it's why it's a little bit staggered here on the 50 million still. But yeah, got Liza Pi going gold. I also covered that. About I will wait a little bit more to see what kind of more information we have. Seems okay. They did some stuff here. I think they're going to improve a little bit on the art style, I think. But we will see how it goes. Baldur's Gate, of course, been covering a little bit here and there. I try not to cover too much games that I want to play, mainly because I don't want to get spoiled with like something that it might be considered spoilers. But yeah, it seems that, of course, I covered this part of no DLC stuff. Doesn't make a lot of sense because it's a complete game. It would make sense like DLC if they didn't put everything that they put on, and then they can chop it off that content and then sell it as DLC. And of course, this scares a lot the other developers and also publishers. That's why it's been kerfuffle here and there regarding Baldur's Gate 3. I think this should be a benchmark. Of course, as anything in life, the fact that you are aiming high doesn't mean you have to reach that height or die trying. But it's a benchmark that people can be judged. The same thing that happened with Witcher 3. I think with shooters we have a lot of games, but at least the latest, not the latest, because there are more games. I don't recall of the top of my head, but I know at the time when Witcher 3 launched, everybody was celebrating because it's like a new benchmark on action RPGs. Everybody should aim for that kind of quality game and everything, but I don't know if because they had planned DLCs and everything. I think it's more about the DLC stuff. The fact that they can launch a game in this state complete, which is something that we used to have, and nobody was complaining that the fact that you have a complete game without the need of expanding the content itself. You get everything that you paid for. You don't need to pay extra to unlock features or to unlock whatever it is. Everything is there for you to enjoy, and I think that scares the culture that was basically assimilated by everybody. It seems that having a full experience that you paid for, it's something that it's not good. It seems at least the narrative is trying to be going about that kind of things. I think this should be a benchmark on all games, RPG or not. It's having a full game, and of course, again, we already got to a certain degree accustomed. Especially with this kind of different gaming versions, like the deluxe editions that have extra stuff and everything. I can understand that, to want to give something extra, and the DLC, I also understand that it's got something extra to offer to players, but don't fool yourselves thinking that having a full experience here, and it's a very full experience. You have hundreds of hours to play with, how the mechanics work, fully complete. Of course, there is some bugs here. They launched a new patch here. I'll cover this in a moment. But yeah, this should be a benchmark to aim for, at least to aim for, and I think all games should follow suit regarding this kind of launch. Of course, the people also forget that they had basically 2 years, I think, in early access, trying to assimilate all the players' feedbacks of the early access, so they can build, of course, the full game. Of course, not every studio is able to do this, but it is how they went about it. So that's why it's a night to aim for. Doesn't mean you have to do exactly like they did, but it's something that to aim for. And I think people should, especially people from the same industry, should not be complaining and trying to downgrade the effort that they made here, because they are independent studio, most of all, so they don't have huge amounts of money that usually these studios that were assimilated by huge corporations that have almost 100 and something million dollars budget for games. People have to be a little bit more respectful for the fact that being a self-published studio here, Larian Studios, they did a very excellent job, and I think every studio should respect that effort that they made, and the fact that they loved the game itself, and the fact that it is already a very tricky game to do in terms of RPG because of the D&D rules. They are very, from what I understand, they are very tricky to translate to a gaming scene. But yeah, I think that they should be lauded, and if you can, always support these kind of efforts. Also, we got a lot of news for Lords of Fallen, like the preview stuff and some specs here. And basically this is it, like the biggest highlights regarding the RPGs this week. But yeah, pretty good week overall regarding gaming. Also, we got some rumors that Stalker 2 might be listed for December 1st launch. This comes from PlayOn store. This was before known as, where is it? I remember seeing this, but I didn't highlight it, I think. Koch Media, formerly known as Koch Media. I think this is a German one. Mainly because they released as I think it's a leak or something like that on their store. They do like physical stuff, physical media. Maybe it was for pre-orders, something like that. Probably this is like the proper release date. Mainly because usually when they put placeholders for launch, they usually put the last day of the month, and the fact that 1st of December also coincides with the Friday, usually it's a good day for launching games, so people can head to the weekend to play the game as it launches. Also, this is reinforced by the fact that we will see this game in some form, even be it a demo, some kind of mini showcase of the game in Gamescom this year. So it's between 22 and 25, I think, August. So not like 2 weeks, maximum. Even though they had all the delays, I think we should have like a good like state of play per se from this game. Even though they've been delayed for several reasons. Firstly, because the shutdown went after a little bit after they announced the game, that it was acquired by GSC Game World, and then they made first another game, then they announced for targeting 2021 launch window, then we got delayed. But yeah, some things that supposedly are going to be that they are aiming to have on the game here. The Stalker series seems pretty good. Can be a little bit rough on the edges regarding graphics at this point in time, because the game is at least 10 years. Yeah, the last game launched like around 10 years, so the other games are even older. But very pretty good in terms of story, because I think they are based. I'm not sure if this. I know Metro City is based on the books. I don't know what kind of inspiration as Stalker is, if it has any books or any other media, not movies or series. But I don't know if there is like book kind of inspiration here. I'm not sure. If it is, I'm sorry, I don't remember seeing anything regarding this kind of thing. But yeah, supposedly we'll see, we'll have for sure some, at least an idea of a launch date in Gamescom, because they are going to be there at the booth. It's confirmed from the official site of the Gamescom, and it's in Germany. PlayOn is a German kind of enterprise stores here for launch physical media, so we might get something in a few days. Also, we got Baldur's Gate. It got more hotfix here, around 200 bugs. It's very tricky. 17,000 variations or permutation of the handing of the game by itself. It's a lot of permutations, and to achieve those permutations, there are going to be some bugs while it happened. We got also some WASD mods, which is basically I think it's the camera, from I understood, it's controlled by the WASD key here, and I think you can remove that with this little mod. I will show it in the end. But you got also the numbers in terms of the opening weekend. So supposedly 368 players managed to finish that. We got more here. I'm not going to go too much in depth here. I will leave it here for you to check out the stats that are more interesting to you. But yeah, a lot of stuff here. Last one, players have played for at least the equivalent of more than 1,000 years, which is interesting by itself. It means that this game is it's pretty good. People stay with this game. Here there is the thing for the WASD keys from controlling the camera. Yeah, remove then close the game, and then we have all these steps here. If you are kind of a noob to a certain degree, you might have some difficulties, but you feel comfortable enough to go around the folders on the system and on the games. I think there is it's pretty kind of easy to go about this. But yeah, this is it from Baldur's Gate here. We got also some Warlock class guides. Again, Fextralife has been doing a great job. They are going to be very focused, at least by the end of the year, or until the end of the year, on Baldur's Gate 3, even though when Starfield comes out, they will do their things, but they will be more focused on Baldur's Gate class guides, wikis, all of that stuff, from classes, races, everything. They will help you out with this kind of thing. They go very in depth of what you should aim for if you want like a specific thing here for you to get around. And I will sure when I play this game, I will sure be with their site opening on the guides here, especially on character creation, because I'm not very familiar with D&D kind of rules and how everything was worked out regarding like stats and everything. I'm a little bit of a noob myself regarding this. And I'm going to finalize here with some gaming deals. We still have Quake Comp sale on Steam until the 16th, so around 3 days. I'll leave all the games here that are on my wish list from my wish list that are on deals, like the Wolfenstein stuff, Doom, what else? And Prey, of course. This is an excellent underrated game, and basically that is it. It's the Doom, Wolfenstein and Prey, basically at the moment, the ones that I think they are worth getting for a deal. Also, we got still Midnight Suns around 1 day or so when this video is published, the Digital Plus edition. Of course, if you like kind of XCOM kind of gameplay stuff with the thing with the turn-based static with the with deck building variant here instead of like the abilities. The abilities are on the cards. Also, we got slavicpunk. It improved a little bit here. It doesn't have a lot of reviews here, but it's on the discount, 40% off. If you're in doubt, you still have the demo to play and see for yourself if it's worth your time and everything. Seems pretty interesting, isometric, kind of detective noir kind of style here. Seems interesting. We'll see how it goes. I will try. I don't think I saw kind of reviews here. I'm dependent on the Steam reviews here, but I think it's at least you have the demo to try out to see if it's something that it's worth for you. And even 40% off is not a lot of money. I think it's from independent. It's an indie studio, so I think it's. If you're interested in this kind of game, supporting independent studios, and of course, if the game is good for you, just go for it. And lastly, here we got Redemption Represents. Got a mixed review still. I'm not sure what they have been doing around here. They've been launching patches here and there. I didn't see a lot of reviews also from the media. It's kind of isometric, turn-based combat, but yeah, it's an RPG. I don't know. It's on a deal. It's one of those that interest me. It's a shame they don't have a demo. This kind of games, more less known IPs or something that are coming new, I think demos will help out a little bit these games here. But lastly, I got here from GOG, we got Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition. If you're interested, just $3 here. It's got everything from the game. If you're interested on playing Baldur's Gate 3, I think you can go for the 2. I didn't find at the moment the Baldur's Gate 1, but yeah, it's one of those RPG franchises that's been in the wild for a long time. But yeah, basically this is it. I'm going to wrap up for today. Not much happening, but some good overall it was a good week in terms of gaming. Not much negativity here. And I'm going to wrap up with my Go Get Fund Me for me to upgrade my PC to get better content for my private clients, and mainly to start doing some video stuff for them also. And of course, in my free spare time, doing the daily videos with better quality. Maybe start doing some scripted content for me to go with some deep dives here and there, resume my gameplay series, and probably doing some live streams in the future. And with all that said, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.